Hello, friends. Welcome back to the DeClerc Homestead. It is day 16 of my 30 days of cleaning up my garden and prepping it for next spring and for winter. And before I get any work done in the garden today, I have to clean the scullery because it's a bit of a mess in here right now. And we're going to start butchering pigs this weekend. We have 5 pigs that we need to butcher. And there's not much space in here right now to do that. If you have not seen our scullery before, this is a space that we built in the back of our garage last year. We kind of worked on it throughout the year 2022. And it was a 3rd stall. So there's 2-car garage in the front. And then this was kind of like a 3rd stall that was in the back. And we separated it, like closed it off from the other 2 stalls and finished it out to be basically a secondary kitchen space for us to do all of our like homesteady type processing work. We do canning in here, we do butchering in here, we process all of our milk jars and pails in here, and it's a really, really awesome space. I will put a link in the description of this video to a video I did giving kind of a full tour of this space. But right now, this space has also been acting as kind of our everyday kitchen because we are currently renovating the kitchen in the actual house. So that's why I have a lot of dishes here, more than I normally would. And I have to get that all cleaned up so that we have space to put pigs and process them. And really just, this is stuff that should be dealt with anyways. So spent about an hour and a half getting that done. Now it is all ready for pig butchering later tonight. And if you have any questions about this space, let me know and I'll share more in another video. I think that I need today to focus on getting some of these leaves that my dad dropped off put where they're going to be. I have a massive pile here. This is definitely a be careful what you wish for situation because there's a lot to deal with. But I know I want to put some over on that last bed I cleared the other day. I'm also probably going to top off where my carrots and this cover crop are just to give it a little bit more. And we will see how far that gets us. If I have more left over after that, which I'm sure I will, we'll move on to the next space. One thing that I did not talk about when I initially mentioned using leaves as mulch, because I had kind of forgotten about it, is that the only negative is that they blow everywhere. And if you can mow over them and chop them up smaller beforehand, that definitely helps, but just getting them wet helps to mat them down so they don't blow around as much. Thankfully, these did get rained on a night or 2 ago, so there are some kind of matted portions of it, like, you know, when leaves get rained on, they get matted together. So I'm trying to kind of grab them in that clump that's forming and keep it, but they are still blowing absolutely everywhere. So it is what it is. It's not going to hurt the rest of the garden to have leaves kind of sporadically throughout it. But for the most part, I'm going to try to put them on the designated beds that aren't covered with anything quite yet. So I have 2 beds done so far. Now I am going to top off this cover crop bed just because it was a little sparse. It wasn't like a super thick planting of cover crop. have a whole bunch of logs that I use to hold tarps down and various things that I've just kind of been piling up in this far raised bed. And I'm not really sure what to do with them. They're kind of getting to the point where they're so dried that they are rotting out and not worth burning, but they're also not really heavy enough to do their purpose anymore. So for now, I'm just going to stack them in the middle of these beds until I figure out what I want to do with them. I had to go and charge my phone because the battery doesn't like to hold its charge. But while I was doing that, I worked on this tomato row. And that is the last row on the interior of the garden that I have to get finished. And I was able to get the trellis down, all of the vines out, and now I can move on to the strawberries, which is going to be such a big task, you guys. There's normally a 4-foot walkway right here where I'm standing, and the runners are just out of control. So this weekend will be the weekend to finally start tackling this, and we will see how it goes. Thanks so much for watching. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.